Hello guys, this is a 2000 Isuzu Rodeo. This car's seen better days for sure. It was in a front-end collision and close to 200,000 miles. The problem is that it's blowing the fuse for the fuel pump, and here's the fuse for, it's a 20 amp fuse for a fuel pump here. Okay, this is a fuel pump relay, and this one does not have a prime. When you turn the key on, it will not turn the pump on. You have to crank the engine over. Also, this same relay, it will give the power to this fuse here. It's a 20 amp as well, and that goes to a heater for the oxygen sensors. But those are two different circuits. Even though, you know, it's coming from the same relay, it will split, and then it will give the power to these components here. So anyhow, I have a fuse jumper here, and I have a circuit breaker. This is a 15 amp. Even though it's a 20 amp circuit, it's okay. Of course, you want to use 20 or less. And so anyhow, this is you can buy it for $1 or $2. I mean, this is super nice device. You know, you don't have to, you know, you're gonna keep blowing your fuses instead of just having a simple circuit breaker. And I'm gonna install that into this circuit here, and then I'm gonna get my amp clamp. I'm gonna put it on a 60 amp setting, basically the high setting that this amp clamp can measure. And then we'll go to our scan tool. I mean our lab scope. I'm on a 60 amp. 60 amp with a 200 milliseconds and 60 amp setting. It has a long crank time, and the owner had this car for maybe 6 months or so, and always had a little bit longer crank time. Oops, I almost got my cable. Okay, stop here. And right off we see that the amperage went up to like 25 amps, and then went down a little bit to maybe, I don't know, maybe it's almost like the 30 amps, and they went, what are you doing? Come back here. Let's go this way. Okay, so it's going to see better. So the peak amperage here was a what's the 30 amps, and then it went down to, what am I looking at here? Oh, I need my cursors. Okay, so alright, so it started around, let's see, cursor number 2, it's 26 amps, and then at some point went down to like 15, and then it was pretty steady around 36, actually, between 24 and 36. But the you know, the pump actually looks pretty good. I mean, I don't see, you know, doesn't have any dead commutators or anything like that, but even though it's really drawing too much current. And so after a while, you know, and then pretty much, you know, the fuse will blow, and it will open a circuit, and then of course the pump starts running. So now, let's see, come back here, it's actually, come back. Okay, so you see it's not, this is the circuit breaker start, you know, breaking down, and it's finally turned the circuit off. Sorry for the glare on the camera. So this tells me that this is not a direct short on a wiring harness or something, because you would pretty much have the full jump and then it would just shut off. So this is obviously the pump is gradually, it starts at 15 amps, which is way too much anyway, but eventually goes up to 35 and then it will shut off. So the most likely we have a problem with the fuel pump. Before I condemn the fuel pump, I will disconnect the I'm going to pull the hose off of the fuel filter and then run the pump manually and see what the amperage is. Make sure the fuel pump is not plugged up, even though you always want to replace the fuel pump as well. So if that's not the case, if you still have a same amperage draw, then we're just going to drop the tank and go from there. Got a fuel filter removed. Didn't really look that dirty at all, and now I got the my hose from the tank connected to the fuel canister here, and let's crank the engine over and let's see what the draw is now. Oh, actually, that does have the it does have a prime. I didn't know that. No, it's not doing it. Just take the key out. Yeah, it's still too high. It's still like 24 amps or something stupid like that. So. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's still drawing 25 amps. So, well, that sucks. I mean, it's less, definitely, but of course, it doesn't have a resistance from the injectors and all that. It's just a free flow, so so this most likely is going to be the problem with the pump. And now next step is to drop the fuel tank. Just go. Yeah, it jumps right to 30 amps actually, and then gradually goes down a little bit, but yeah, it's just not working right. Well, let's drop the fuel tank. I'm having a great time with this fuel tank. I got two bolts that broke off and I cannot get them out. So anyhow, I was able to disconnect the fuel pump, and I got my jumper again. I got an M clamp hooked up, and all I want to see actually when I crank the engine over is there anything else on this circuit. Am I going to have any current whatsoever once I got pump disconnected? If I don't, all the current is coming from the pump, which it does, but I just want to confirm it for sure. Alright, and oh, I didn't activate min max. Alright, and yeah, so no current at all. That's all good. That tells me there's nothing else on this circuit, and all the current is coming from the pump. The fuel filter, it was okay, but I've never seen the fuel filter causing that amount of the current to go so high that blows the fuse going over 35 amps. So, all right, so I'm gonna hopefully drop this tank tonight and get the pump tomorrow. The pump is removed. I have a known good one. This is a GM fuel pump. I use this for circuit integrity tests. And let's go ahead and check the amperage draw on this pump. We're going to set a min max scale again. Alright, and 6.6 amps. Okay. And zero this again, and then we're gonna put it here. Actually, I'm gonna have the complete module. Thank God I don't have to fish the pump out and all that, so I'm just gonna replace the whole thing, which is always good. Okay, let's put the hand clamp. Okay, and the amperage is 30.5, and that's of course without any load, but that's way too much for this pump too. Okay, so I think we're on the good track here. The pump is shut, and we'll get the pump tomorrow, and it should be good. Okay, new pump is installed. I just filled the gasoline. I didn't turn the key at all. 60 amps again, 200 milliseconds, and let's turn the key on. So maybe let's see. Okay, the pump is up. Current clamp is upside down, and let's go back here. What did I do? Alright, so because the amperage now is a lot lower, I'm going to go to 20 amps. Alright, and let's go ahead and flip the hand clamp. Zero it again, flip it over. Okay, stop. So what do we have? 8-9 amps, perfect. Let's go here. Alright, and it spiked at 14 amps, which is fine. That's inrush current, and then even down to, come on now, I want that. That's the maximum. Let's see what's the max. Oh, what? Come on now. Okay, there you go. Alright, so see, cursor 2, 7 amps, something like that. So that's what we want to see. And alright, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and start it up. Nice. Very nice. The new filter, new pump, perfect. And this is the pump we got from AutoZone. It's made in actually in USA, so that's good. Alright, this one is fixed, and let's shut it off. Let's start again. We had that long crank, so let's see. I mean, still a little bit of a delay, but much better. Alright, I'm happy. I'm sure this car, I mean, I got an ABS light, check engine light is on. I got some of it. My, you know, they wanted me to fix the problem there, you know, the blowing the fuse, and wasn't running. So, alright guys, so this was an interesting one. Never seen the pump drawing that much current that blows the fuse. And you know, you just want to make sure that nothing is blocking the fuel line. So you can see that I went down to the fuel filter, disconnected the fuel filter, and turned the pump on again, and it was running at 18 amps. And you know, actually the fuel tank was pretty clean. There was nothing in it, and that should take care of it. Now on the return system, of course, this is a return system. You want to make sure that that the fuel is going back to the tank. There's no blockage there. I kind of looked around, everything looked okay, and that was it. It was a bad fuel pump. So the truck has like 190 or close to 200,000 miles. I'm not sure was this original pump or not, but they bought a good pump, so this one will last for sure. And new filter, and this will be it. Alright guys, well thank you so much, and see you next time. Thank you, bye bye.